What if the voice that tells you you're not enough, too much, or fundamentally flawed has been lying to you your entire life? That inner critic, that relentless judge, what if everything it's been saying is false testimony? We all know this voice. It's the one that wakes us up at 3 a.m. with a list of our failures. The one that turns a simple work email into evidence of our inadequacy. The one that's been building a case against us since we were children. Here's what we're exploring today. There's another voice available to you. One that knows the truth about who you are. Not the story you've been told. Not the evidence that's been collected against you. But the actual truth. This voice says something radical. That you were created by love. As love. That your essential nature isn't flawed or broken. It's whole. Imagine your mind as a courtroom. For years, maybe decades, you've been listening to one witness, a prosecutor who's brilliant at making you feel guilty. This prosecutor has files, evidence, examples, every mistake you've made, every time you've fallen short, every moment of weakness, all carefully catalogued and presented as proof that you're not enough. You're checking your phone before bed and see a work email that makes your stomach drop. Your boss wants to discuss your recent project, no other details. Immediately, the prosecutor springs into action. You messed up again. You're going to get fired. You never do anything right. The familiar spiral begins. Sleep becomes impossible as you replay every mistake you've ever made. The prosecutor is relentless, pulling up evidence from last week, last year, your entire career. By 2 a.m., you're convinced you're a fraud who's about to be exposed. This is how we live, constantly on trial in our own minds. The prosecutor's voice is so familiar, so authoritative, that we've forgotten it's just one perspective. We've confused its accusations with truth. But here's what's actually happening in that moment with the email. Words on a screen triggered an entire legal proceeding in your mind. The prosecutor took those neutral words and spun them into a verdict. You weren't just reading an email, you were being sentenced. What if there's another witness who's been trying to get your attention? This witness has access to your actual file, not the edited version the prosecutor presents, but the real one. And this witness keeps trying to tell you something the prosecutor doesn't want you to hear. This witness says, "Love created you like itself." Sit with that for a moment. Not, "Love created you flawed and then hopes you'll improve." Not, "Love created you as a work in progress." Love created you like itself, whole, complete, lacking nothing. The prosecutor objects immediately. That's ridiculous. Look at all this evidence of imperfection. And yes, the prosecutor has evidence. Years of it. But what if all that evidence is about your behavior, your choices, your learning process? Not about your essential nature. Think about it this way. When a child is learning to walk and falls, we don't conclude they're fundamentally unable to walk. We see it as part of the process. But somewhere along the way, we started letting the prosecutor turn every stumble into proof of inadequacy. The difference between these two voices isn't just what they say, it's how they feel in your body. The prosecutor's voice creates tension. Your shoulders rise, your jaw clenches, your stomach tightens. It's the voice of alarm, urgency, threat. The other voice, the one reminding you that love created you like itself, has a different quality. It's quieter, steadier. When you really hear it, something in you relaxes, not because it's telling you what you want to hear, but because it's telling you what you've always known, deep down. Go back to that email scenario. You're lying in bed, the prosecutor building its case. But then, for just a moment, you remember, I am not on trial here. My worth isn't being decided by this email or any email. Love created me like itself, and nothing that happens tomorrow can change that. Notice what happens in your body when you hear this. The prosecutor might get louder for a moment. It doesn't like being contradicted. But underneath its noise, there's a settling. A recognition, like you finally heard truth after years of propaganda. Here's what changes everything. You get to choose which witness you listen to. The prosecutor will always be there. It's part of how our minds learn to navigate the world. But you don't have to treat its testimony as truth. Every time you notice the prosecutor starting up, you said the wrong thing in that meeting. You're a terrible parent. You'll never get this right. You can pause and call in the other witness. The one who knows that love created you like itself. This isn't positive thinking. It's not about convincing yourself you're perfect or that you never make mistakes. It's about remembering what's beneath all the mistakes, all the trying, all the falling short. It's about recognizing the difference between what you do and what you are. The email from your boss. You might have made mistakes on the project. The meeting tomorrow might be difficult. But none of that touches the truth of what you are. You can walk into that office knowing that your essential worth isn't up for discussion. The prosecutor might be rehearsing defenses, but you're not on trial. When you practice hearing this truth about yourself consistently, something shifts. The prosecutor doesn't disappear, but it loses its power to define you. You start to experience a steady sense of worthiness that doesn't depend on your performance. You make a mistake at work, and instead of spiraling into self-attack, you think, I'm learning. Love created me capable of growth. Someone criticizes you, and instead of immediately agreeing with their assessment, you pause. Their opinion is about my behavior, not my being. The courtroom in your mind starts to feel different. The prosecutor is still there, still presenting evidence, but now there's another voice offering context, compassion, truth. And slowly, you realize you're not the defendant anymore. You're the judge, deciding which testimony to believe. And more often, you choose to believe the witness who's been telling you all along, you were created by love. As love. You are whole. You always have been. The prosecutor just made you forget. That voice that's been telling you you're not enough. It's been presenting false evidence. The truth is simpler, quieter, and it's been waiting for you to listen. Love created you like itself. And nothing you do or don't do can change what you essentially are. Before we move into the meditation, if this is helping you, you're welcome to like the video and subscribe. It's a simple way to keep practicing together. Let yourself settle into this moment. No need to prepare or adjust. Just arrive as you are. Feel your breath moving naturally. No need to change it. Just notice it flowing in and out, supporting you without effort. Notice any tension in your shoulders, your jaw, your belly. This is often where we hold the prosecutor's voice. Just notice it. You don't need to fix anything. Now, in this quiet space, let yourself hear these words. Love created me like itself. Don't try to believe it. Don't argue with it, just let the words land softly, like snow. Love created me like itself. Notice if the prosecutor wants to object. That's okay, let it speak if it needs to, but keep returning to the quieter voice underneath. Love created me like itself. Feel what happens in your body when you hear this. Maybe nothing. Maybe a slight softening. Maybe resistance. All of it is welcome. Rest here for a moment. No testimony to give. No evidence to present. No case to make. Just you, breathing, remembering what has always been true. The courtroom can rest. The trial can pause. In this moment, you are not defendant or prosecutor or judge. You are simply what love created, whole, complete, at peace. When you're ready, take a deeper breath. Feel your body here, supported and safe. The truth remains. Regardless of whether you return to it or not, love created you like itself. Gently open your eyes when it feels right. The day continues, but something quiet has shifted. You've remembered what you are. Thank you for being here and practicing together. If you'd like, you can find a free digital ACIM resource in the description. And if you want to mark the moment, a simple comment such as, "I am grateful," is welcome. Thank you for spending this time with me, exploring what it means to hear the truth about yourself. As you move through your day, be gentle when the prosecutor's voice returns. It's just doing what it learned to do. But now you know there's another witness available, quietly reminding you of what you've always been. Take care of yourself, and remember, you're not on trial.